Hello, everyone. I am in a better mood in my video now. Still sad though of my comrade and my old friend when I was like 10. FNAF, sadly. He will be missed though. Anyways. Since I'm in a better mood, this will be a happier what if. I mean, the what if itself is still gonna go on the dark road, but anyways. Oh, trust me, you thought he had a dark past? Ha ha ha! Just wait till the future appears. Oh, this will be amazing. So, I believe I left off at the sports festival while Deku practically in the Batmobile, shooting people. I believe in the team points, I believe. He had a million points because he won the race. So yeah, he'll be about the sports festival, or at least a little bit before the fighting portion, at least. I believe so. If not, may not. Anyways, at the sports festival, what would happen is after everyone gets shot, they would announce that, or Midnight would have announced everyone would have gone down. Todoroki's team, unable to fight. Uraraka's team, unable to battle. Who else? Because I believe Bach goes with in his side of his team. So, yeah, everyone else besides like Deku's team would win. So yeah. The only reason I'm avoiding the fighting portion is because having the mentality of Jason Todd, the body built of Batman, and then the brutality of Moon Knight, that's a pretty terrifying mixture. Like, there's a difference between Batman's brutality and Moon Knight brutality. Moon Knight himself is just terrifying when it comes to brutality. So yes. Just imagine if... Anyways, we go to the first start. Who should I have against? Because, I'll say at random. So G versus Jiro. Jiro would win due to her quirk able to push Shoji out of the area. Yes, Soji is fast and has movement speed, but when it comes to sound waves, Jiro would blast him off the stage using a sonic wave. Sorry. Next up, Jiro versus the sugar guy. Sugar Rush, I think. I can't make Jiro win all the time, so I can just have to. No, because okay. So let's say Jiro this time does win, but would lose against Hagakure. Because you can't shoot something if you can't see it. So, I mean, yeah. She would lose to Hagakure. Hagakure would have kind of bumped her on the side of the head. But at the same time, it would have been more of a, was a default, what was it? A tie, yeah. It would have been a tie. Because Reyes, kind of decked her onto the head while mid-faint. Jiro would have used her sonic wave to blast Hagakure out of the field. The only difference is that Hagakure was actually still conscious, so that's why I'm giving them a tie. For the next one, I believe I have Tokoyami versus Ida. I believe Tokoyami would win versus Ida. Oof, whoops. Tokoyami versus Ida would have won. So, Tokoyami now going versus... Oh wait, I forgot Class 1B, oh yeah. I mean, realistically, if we have Batman, realistically, do we really need to talk about Class 1B? So, I mean... Okay, I'm gonna stop being dumb. So, I believe the plant one versus Denki Kaminari. I'm not changing that. I don't know how Kaminari lost, realistically. I mean, she literally gave him advice, but yeah, he didn't want to listen to it. Like, bruh. Just... Denki would have lost. I don't know how, but it is what it is. It's the Plant Girl versus Mushroom Girl. Mushroom Girl would have won due to her quirk. We don't know much about her quirk, but due to it being mushrooms, I do know some mushrooms in the world that can emit a type of gas, or guaranteed one of these actually exists. But there are, or in comics in general, there are mushrooms in comics and in real life that do, you know, give off sleep or paralysis-like effects. So yes. Would eventually get Plant Girl and kind of either checkmate with her or get a tie. I'll say a tie. Just due to the logic of her able to use her hair as plants, not just that. But if you paralyze someone, yes, it does paralyze their body, but the plant portion of them is not paralyzed. Even so, even if they do have a plant, they would have some sort of resistance. So before they do either end up being paralyzed, they would have eventually knocked each other out. Either by having some type of poison mushroom or something similar to that. So yeah. That's a tie. Who's next? Who do I want to put? Shadow Dude versus... what was the wolf dude? Either wolf or what was it? Chimera, I think the dude was. So the Shadow Dude wins. Shadow Dude versus... The only reason I'm saying the Shadow Dude wins is because his ability is very unique. And I feel like the Chimera dude, yes, he is physically stronger than him, but when it comes to abilities like that, I feel like the Shadow Dude will win. Next up, it would be Kendo versus Shadow Dude. Kendo would win. Who's next? I believe there's a couple other people from Class 1B. So, other Class 1Bs, I'm only doing 2 other Class 1Bs, and that's it. And then I'll go back to Class 1A. So, Kendo versus Monoma. Monoma gets down. Now it is Reiko versus Kendo. Reiko wins for multiple reasons. Not due to her technically having a Danny Phantom quirk, but she's also able to kind of shoot, what was it called? Goo everywhere, practically. Or what was it? I can't remember. I'm a Ghostbusters fan, but I can't remember what the goo's called. It's been so long since I watched a Ghostbusters film. I can't remember the name. No. Oh no! I was gonna say something goo. What was it called? I can't remember. Anyways, Reiko wins. Dang, I'm gonna have to research that. So, after this one. Anyways, enough of that. I believe so. Reiko wins. Reiko. I can't remember which one it was. We have Ryoko, which is the dragon hero, and then Reiko, which is the ghost girl. Okay, so I believe who do I got knocked? I have Shinzo, Jiro. Okay. I have like about a decent amount of people off Class 1A. So I believe Todoroki would be going versus, I believe, Tokoyami. And Bakugo would be going versus Uraka. Momo would be going versus Reiko. I believe I got... If I'm missing something, if I'm missing someone, comment down below, please. Because I did say, Reiko is the winner for Class 1B. And I'm right now in Class 1A. So if I miss anyone from, Class 1A, just comment down below. So, Momo would be going versus, I believe, I said Reiko. So, I believe everyone's occupied right now. Just to make sure, I'm gonna go get my phone and see if I am correct. Okay, class 1B. Okay, let's see. No, class 1A, I believe. You know, I'll do class 1B. Maybe if I have everyone occupied in class 1B, I mean class 1A, I'll do class 1B again. Class 1B, okay. Let's see, what do we have? Oh yeah, the Cypher dude. The dude who looks like a grasshopper. Forgot about that dude. Okay, so I plant opponent. Actually, missing a lot of people today from class 1B. I mean, I got the gist, I guess. Because, I mean, Reiko would be very easily take out, like, a couple of her classmates. Question mark, dude. Are you... What was it? There we go. Monkey Fujoshi, he would be out. I believe Pony would be able to stand a chance against Reiko. But would kind of succeed in some point, like get a couple shots off Reiko. But due to Reiko able to kind of phase through things, realistically like a ghost, I'm pretty sure she would be able to win. Keijo... Actually, Tetsu, I believe Tetsu would be going for Kirishima. Sorry, almost forgot about Kirishima. Kamura do down... yeah, a lot of people would be down by the other teammates, like the ghost guys down. Yatsuwaza, Sen, Kabura, Togoro, Kamahara, Yokade. I actually believe Setsuna will kind of get like 3rd place in her class. Because realistically, yes, Monoma does have a good quirk, don't get me wrong. But if you don't know how to use the quirk, which I mean, it's kind of simple when he went versus Midoriya for the 2nd time. When he, kind of copied One For All, he used it, being idiot he is, exploded, or, his body wasn't able to kind of, hold the power of One For All, or at least a copy, meaning that his body kind of gave up upon him, exploding, and kind of leaving Monoma unconscious. So, we know that if you're not built, or, you don't fit certain standards of a quirk, you can't use it. So, practically, Monoma would lose against, Setsuna. Tetsu would... I don't know why or how Kirishima won. Even though Tetsu's flipping steel... Or wait, was it steel or iron? Doesn't matter, he's metal. How does metal lose to a rock? Like, that makes no flipping sense. Like, yes, he's manly. Like, yes, he's a very good character. But literally the only reason why Kirishima won was plot convenience. And because fan base. That's literally the only reason why Kirishima won. Realistically. Like, that's literally the only reason why Kirishima won. So, Tetsu would have won in this one. Jutsu would have lost against Pony. Pony would have taken down Norigenki or Shoda, I think. And then would also take down Koshi. Kaneko, before Kaneko lost, she would have taken down Yuki, Sen, Kabara, Yuzuso, Oase. I'm probably butchering these names, but anyways. Decent characters from the cast very easily. I'll say Toguro, Kamakari would have at least gotten down Kojiro, would have at least gotten down Kojiro, and so would have meant the downfall by Koro Ren. And then Ren would have lost against either Kendo, Monoma, or Reiko. And, after that, it was, I believe, Kendo. After Monoma lost, Kendo would have gone versus... Before going versus Reiko, went versus Tetsu. That's a very interesting battle. Especially since, yes, she does have big hands, but Tetsu has a hard-hitting steel or metal-like quirk. So realistically, it really depends which version of hardening we're doing. Like, are we making their body into a rock, or hardening their body, or just making a shell over their body, like Kevin Levin's ability from Ben 10. From what I can tell, it's more of a skin, like instead of Kevin Eleven's quirk, how it makes a shell around the skin, hardening quirks are based on making the skin itself, instead of making a cover for the skin, harder. So the skin will either become steel or rock. So I'm guessing, depending on the way they have the scenario, Reiko or Kendo, due to Kendo losing, it's Reiko versus Tetsu. That'd be a very tricky versus. Because I do believe if we're going by physics, Tetsu would have won against Kendo. The only reason due to his quirk, because if it wasn't for his quirk, he wouldn't have been as good as with his quirk. Kendo would have won due to her what was it? Her classes of not just but fighting styles, and she takes fighting classes. So yeah. So Tetsu would have won, but only by default by his quirk. Tetsu versus Reiko. Reiko. I feel like Reiko, if we're going by physiology, realistically, if Reiko's able to shift through things, I feel like Tetsu would be dragged underground, or like pull a Sasuke in the exam, where he kind of got pulled down by Kakashi during the bell test. So I feel like Reiko. Also, I am changing some people's quirks as well in Class 1B, because due to them seeing Batman or what happened to Midoriya, they would have trained their quirks to a very different degree than normal canon. So Reiko herself would have been able to shift through things, and if possible, I do believe she would have pulled off a what was his name? Second fight was Juggernaut, when Juggernaut kind of got sucked into the ground by one of the not metahumans, mutants. I can't remember which one. I believe it was in the movies. He got shifted midway in the ground. But the thing was, I feel like Tetsu would be able to get back up, which, if Reiko is smart enough, I feel like they would have their entire body underground except for their head. So, there's some bias, but I mean, the way I train each of the characters from Class 1B, they do, based on their quirks, I train them based on the quirks, a bit like the Robin Squad. So they kind of trained based on, how to fight with their quirks, but also without their quirks. So let's say either a draw or it has to go between one of them. So I'll say I'll leave that unnoticed for now. Comment down below who you think won, Tetsu or Reiko, Yanagi. And now we go back to Class 1A. Hey, who's texting? My guy, I have like mid video. Yeah, cool. Okay. Class 1B next. Class 1A. I mean 1A. Okay, let's see who I take out. Okay. So, Danky Wit versus Plant Girl. Plant Girl won. Plant Girl got defeated by another one. Kirishima lost by Tetsu. Jiro lost. Hagakure lost. Bakugo going versus Uraka. I believe Sato got knocked out by, I believe, Jiro. Not sure. I do believe it was Jiro. Sarah would have gone versus, I believe, Mineta. Sato versus Mineta. That's a very interesting versus, because, I mean, he has tape, like Spider-Man. But at the same time, it's not very useful in an opened area with no, like, no pillars or anything. So I do believe, just due to the surroundings, not because on the other reasons, I believe Mineta would win against Zero. Because his balls are very sticky, so his quirk would, be better than Zero in this, normal flat surface of a fighting area. But if there was, pillars and whatnot, Zero would have won. So Mineta versus, I believe I had Shoji out. Chaco's in, Momo, Shoto. Ayama! I didn't have any Ayama go versus anyone. So I'll say Ayama versus Sue. Ida. I did believe Ida went versus someone and lost. I think he went versus... Did I have Ida? If not, I may recollect something. So I'll have Ida go versus Mineta. Mineta loses off bat. Doesn't matter what he tried. I mean, he would have been wasted or tired fighting Zero. So I do believe Tenya Ida would have won against Mineta. Koda would go versus Tenya. Or Ida would go versus Koda. I mean, do I really have to say anything about that versus? I mean, I'm pretty sure Ida would have won. Because his quirk is based upon animals. I mean, in an area, battlefield like that, I don't think there's much animals. I mean, maybe some ants and whatnot. But I mean, I doubt ants can do anything. Unless it's like an army of ants, like Ant-Man or something. But I doubt that. So Ida wins. Denki lost. Kashima lost. Who do I have left? I have Midoriya. Tenya Ida versus Ojiro. Ojiro wins. Ida was tired because I do believe he would have been dragged down by Mineta using sticky balls. So he would have, been forced to go, what was it called? Reciprocal burst. To actually find a way to get out of the sticky ball scenario. If it wasn't for that, Mineta would have won. So he, not just that, but he had to go versus Koda. I mean, Koda would have, he would have thrown some hands, but eventually would have, gotten Ida tired. He would have been recovering from, exhaustion, but he would have eventually went versus Ojiro. Ojiro goes versus him. Ojiro wins due to having, fighting styles and able to calculate where he would have gone in speed. So he would have won against Ida. I'll say, I forgot Mina. Mina versus Ojiro. Mina would have won. Mina using her acid to not just slide around the battlefield, but kind of dodge all of Ojiro's attacks. So, so Sui versus Ayama. Sparkles versus Froppy. Quirk-wise, I believe Ayama would win. But due to the person that Asui is, I do feel like Asui would win against Ayama. So Ayama wins. So that would mean Ayama versus... Who did I say? It wasn't Ida. I believe I had Ojiro versus Mina. So Mina go versus Asui. That would have been a very interesting fight, not due to their abilities being similar. Similar due to, I do believe her quirk for Asui being a frog. Some frogs are able to spit some types of acid. Or, stomach acid at you. So that would have been similarities between their quirks. But due to her quirk, or Mina's quirk able to be immune to acid, or at least have some type of not immunity, but what was it? What was the word? Not immunity, but resistance. Yeah, that's what it was. Resistance. Momo would have gone versus the person who won for Class 1B. I believe it was either Reiko or Tetsu. So yeah, that's even. Yeah. So Momo would have versus them would have won. Because I mean, realistically, it doesn't matter what you have. If you're going versus a canon from if you know the 9 event, Momo would have gone. Her training would have brought her to the 9 event already. So she would be the 9 event Momo. Making cannons. So I'm pretty sure if you go over Tetsu or Reiko, I mean, if you got shot through a cannon, you're getting sent flying. I'm sorry, you're getting sent flying by Momo's quirk. Momo wins. So Mina versus. I do feel like I'm gonna have to have Mina down for this one. So I'll say. I'll take this one as a tie. Yeah, I'll have them as a tie. So they're both down for the count. Katsuki Bakugo versus Momo Yaoyorozu. It was a good fight, but Bakugo Katsuki would have taken her down. Now it is Todoroki versus Midoriya. Midoriya's getting sit. I'm sorry, Todoroki, but you're getting sitting down hard way, bro. This man just gonna. I'm sorry, bro. I'm sorry. I'm gonna have to do you dirty, Todoroki. I'm sorry. We all know what's gonna happen to Todoroki. This man's about to have his bones be steeled, bro. Like, I'm sorry. Like, Midoriya, he has to restrain himself, but when it's. You gotta go all out in a tournament, so I'm sorry, Todoroki, but you're getting your bones stolen by Midoriya. I mean, not literally, but it's practical. This man's gonna sniff your kneecaps. Like, just one hit from this man, your kneecaps being busted the other way. So this man about to be snorting your kneecaps for days. I'm sorry, Toto, so, yeah. So, this would have gone, this is how the fight would have gone between Todoroki and Midoriya. Midoriya would have figured out his quirk. He would have, first on the Taka no Jutsu, because, if you think any other version of Midoriya hates when people don't use full power, you know very well. This version of Midoriya is like, hey yo, I'll give you a deal. If you don't use your full power, I'm gonna snort your kneecap for days. If you do use your full power, I'll restrain myself from taking your kneecaps. Well, it's your choice. I'm gonna win either way. So, the only difference that I'm not gonna snort depending on which option you choose. I'm gonna break you, or I'm gonna snort you. Which one you choose? As you figured out, Toto decided not to have his kneecap snorted, so he still lost. But having shot both fires, he would have, done the double attack fire and ice. Midoriya would have, been right on the corner, or at least on the side of the battle arena, having that entire side of the arena gone due to Todoroki's blast, which Cementos would have just covered that entire side with cement walls, which would have Todoroki, just, I think I got him. Psych, I lied. I'm right on the side. Now, get ready, because I'm about to snort your kneecaps. Yoink, 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 yoink. Just, Midoriya just immediately, just decking practically Todoroki. Just, yoink. Slumber. So, yeah, Todoroki would have gotten a combo move on him from the back. Foo, 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 foo. New, new, new. 20 combo, uppercut, Batman takedown, doof. So yeah, this man down for the count for like a couple days at least. And now it is Bakugo Katsuki versus Midoriya. This is how it would have gone down. Bakugo Katsuki knows how Midoriya fights, or at least a little on what he fights. Midoriya's already knows Bakugo's gonna try some BS on him. Cause he knows that Katsuki knows somewhat of his fighting style, so he's on the border of that. Yes, he can very easily take down Katsuki, but it's very safe to be sorry, so. What he does is just wait for Bakugo to charge at him, and inevitably put his, plans in there to begin with. Oh yeah, I forgot Shinzo. Shinzo would have been the winner, by the way. After leaving everyone else, it would have been leaving off Tokoyami versus, I believe, Ida? I'm not sure, but if so, Tokoyami versus Shinzo. Shinzo would have won. Actually, no, because he has a sentient quirk. The sentient quirk would have smacked him out of it. Or he would have just lost control. So, I'll say Tokoyami wins. And so, after this is going to be, I believe, him versus him. Okay, so, Ida would have, would have still left. So, not just that, but Mina and Sui would have gotten there. So, it would have been Shinzo versus either one of them, which Shinzo would have at least gotten third place. Or at least that, Shinzo would kind of be the boss battle. Actually, no, I do believe I took out, maybe, I don't know if I took out Shinzo yet. Because he's technically not part of Class 1B, he's technically from, Study Hall, so. He goes versus Batman. Or no, actually, I believe, because I believe, Bakugo would have heard from Ojiro about the quirk. So, Bakugo before, Bakugo went versus Midoriya, or, Shinzo would have went versus, somebody else. Or what, I believe would have went versus Tetsu, I'll say Tetsu. Yeah, I'll say Tetsu. Tetsu would have won by a landslide. Went versus Shinzo. Shinzo would have won, or first, Tetsu would have went versus. Hold up. Okay, Momo would have went versus. Shinzo. Shinzo wins, so he would have been, the final person he had to go versus. Midoriya going versus Bakugo would kind of do a Batman takedown. Do a kind of like what he did with Slade, so kind of blind him multiple times. Blind you blow. But he would have instead of with the cape, because he don't wear capes, so he would have blinded him with punches. So yoink blind, yoink blind, yoink blind, gut punch, and then Nutcracker. And I'm not talking about the Mortal Kombat version of Nutcracker. He just need him in the nuts, and then just whatever, need him in the face. Takedown. Batman wins. And now it would going to be Shinzo versus Midoriya. Midoriya going versus Shinzo. Shinzo would. How would that fight go? I feel like. Because Batman, realistically, with the amount of stuff Midoriya has gone through, I feel like he would have had a lot of mental borders for his mind, or mental walls. I feel like he wouldn't be affected by Shinzo's quirk. So Shinzo's quirk, it would at least take more than a battle to, kind of get into Midoriya's head. So I'll say Shinzo's quirk didn't work on Midoriya. I mean, it did kind of stop Midoriya slowly. It would have Midoriya's movement slow, but it would have inevitably, Midoriya would have shaken out of it and eventually rocked Shinzo's shit practically. Because we all know Shinzo about to be talking crap. We all know how Midoriya, you get hit, you talk shit, you get hit practically. That's the rule that Midoriya has. And now, guess what is happening? Ha ha ha, yes! The ability I've been waiting for! The forest trending arc. Also, by the way, Midoriya would have got number 1, by the way. He would have got in the middle. Actually, I'm pretty sure number 2 would be Bakugo third would have to be decided between Shinzo and Todoroki. Todoroki would have gone third, going versus Tokoyami. Tokoyami would have gone versus Todoroki. Todoroki would have won. Or just bonus battles in general to see, you know, who gets the place. So, Shinzo or... I feel like he will be using his fire, so I'll say Tokoyami would be in 4th. Shinzo would have been in 6th. Wait, no. Tokoyami 4th. Shinzo 5th. Yeah, okay. There we go. So, Forest Arc would have happened. Midoriya ain't gonna be on that bus. You have a car, a Batmobile, precisely. Do you really think you'll be about to be taking a bus while everyone's talking? Like, nah, bro. My boy Deku likes silence, cause he's like that. He's Batman. So as soon as the wild pussycats try to, you know, hey, aren't you missing a child? Batman comes out of nowhere, or you know, that you get that exit out of the car. Midoriya would have had the Batmobile somewhere, you know, parked it somewhere in the forest. Would have jumped up. Whoa, Batman landing in front of the Wild Pussycats. Deku ain't stupid. He knows the quirks of the Wild Pussycats. So he's like, I'm gonna run this way before y'all try to, like, you know, use their quirk. So Midoriya would have been running the opposite direction as everyone else. Everyone's confused until, you know, they all feel, you know, the rock slides like, oh shit. Batman's like, Batman style, Batman fly. Or at least would have just jumped. Because I don't feel like Batman or Midoriya has the bat wings, but I'll say he has the Batman Beyond bat wings. Or would have either used the Batman Beyond bat wings, like kind of, you know, they don't show, but when you know do something, they kind of, you know, flip out, kind of like a fan. They kind of, you know, open and then close, so you don't see them. He would have used that, his bats, or he would have used, you know, just OG style, just jump and then just fall. Like, bro, just, yeah. I don't need wings, bro. I'm good like that, like, yeah, practically. He would have just jumped, and then, you know, would have landed, and continued to beat the ever-loading just dog out of every cement item or cement sentient being in his way. And, like, it took an entire hour just for Class 1A to be there. I'm like, got you. As you know, the Wild Pussycats are getting there, like, you know, also, like, 10 minutes after Deku does. They're like, oh, what's up? You call this a challenge? I take this stuff to, like, my training regimen, like, bruh. This ain't nothing. As you know, it would have gone, you know, I believe, what was the big cat's name? The dude name. Or at least the other dude. What was his name? Hold up. Tiger, that's his name. He would have went versus Tiger. Tiger, you can say Tiger wants to train this boy, but he notices he's not going full out until he kind of says something. Also, by the way, if I didn't say it before, Midoriya's mother was murdered. But, you know, it was, yeah, practically murdered, but I don't think I said, I believe I said by all for one. So, you know, Tiger would have get a not so smart idea, called out, hey, yo, he would have, you know, Tiger would have just said something about Midoriya's mother. Midoriya going all out, just, I'm gonna beat your ass. After that, I'm gonna snort every bone in your body, and I'm gonna steal your bones. Practically. After that, Tiger would have regret everything he said about Midoriya. And Midoriya, or, you know, Tiger would have been sent to the recovery office, or, you know, recovery tent, or whatever they have. They would have had recovery go there, knowing full on that Midoriya was going to be there. Midoriya don't hold back. Like, this man will, like, he dangerous. Like, when it comes to fighting styles, he will rock you shit, for real. Next up, I'll say, you know, he would beat Koda.
Kota trying to go for the Nutcracker on Johnny Cage mode. It being ineffective. Why? Because Deku is just built different, I'll say. In fact, I'm pretty sure he would have had a cup there too. Midoriya, yes, he is built different, but I mean, it would have been not just the cup, but you know, he has the balls of steel, so yeah. You can say Kota's hand would have broken. After that, you know, he would have talked to Kota like, hey, so why you don't like heroes? Kota would have like, yeah, you fake heroes, and Midoriya would have, you know, actually counteracted his argument like, yeah, but without deaths, there wouldn't be anyone to save, you know. Things wouldn't have been stopped if it wasn't for your parents' death. It's better you than anyone else, honestly. Because realistically, I'm surprised you're not a villain, kid. Trust me, do you think I was a hero at first? Nah. Trust me, before I became so on and so forth Batman, when I was in jail, I kind of, not gonna lie, I made an AI take over my guard duty and kind of, you know, called myself Red Hood for a bit. Kind of, you know, came down, knocking people out left and right, killing people. So, you're not alone, but of course, after a while, I did go back to UA. Of course, no knowledge of, you know, the heroes knowing this, but, you know. After a while, I did realize that things that I did weren't meant to be. So I did go back to the hero organization. So yeah. After that, I kind of changed somewhat my mindset, but realistically, depending on how dangerous the villain is, either have to kill him, or just, like, do something, kid, because some of these heroes don't understand the amount of stuff that people go through, just due to them, like, arresting villains. Not all villains are the same. Some types you gotta kill some villains, so yeah. Eventually, Kota would have gained a liking and would have saw that, you know, Deku's cool and whatnot. Inevitably, it would have been the attack on the forest. Kota gone. Muscular appears. Silverfish, Dabi, everyone else. Actually, now that I think about it, I do believe that Stain would have went versus. We go before the Sports Physical and Stain arc, or sorry, before this arc, which is the Stain arc. Stain and Midoriya would have known each other. So Midoriya would have, you know, said, I got you. I'ma beat your ass up. You go to prison. I got you. And then continue to, like, you know. Him and Stain know each other. So, you know, Dabi, I believe Dabi told him, like, the entire, what was it? Vanguard Action Squad wouldn't be a thing. So, I'll say, you know, yes, Stain is in prison, but not for long. Because, you know, he got Red Hood on his back. Because I'll say, you know, they did go versus each other, you know. They did meet each other in the, you know, the Vigilante days. Or, you know, when, you know, Stain was fighting or killing heroes. You know, he eventually met Red Hood. Red Hood and him talked. Practically got along with their, you know, what they have. Like, I do admit, they kind of, you know, they did question each other's, you know, morals. And, you know, what they think about heroes. But inevitably, Midoriya would have gotten the higher, you know, mentality of heroes, fake heroes, and corrupted society upon Stain. So Stain would have looked upon, you know, Midoriya as, you know, a true hero. And practically, yeah, Midoriya would have some, Robins, you can say, on his own side. By this time, Midoriya would be going versus, I believe, he would be looking for Muscular, actually. Uraraka going versus Toga. Actually, no, because Toga, as I said, I'm dumb. The Vanguard Action Squad, but there would be, you know, some villains. Muscular will still be there. I'll say some other villains would be there, but, you know, Class 1A, due to them being stronger than in canon, I say they would be, you know, stronger. So they would take out the villains very easily. Muscular would have been taken out, and I mean killed by Midoriya. What was his name? Koda would have been saved by Batman. But they would have gained, you know, armor and whatnot. They would have gained, you know, I'll say the League of Villains are a bit smarter. So they would have gotten, you know, better armor, or armor in general. So they would have, they would have still, you know, got, you know, Bakugo.